Hey guys, this is DeLeon, and I'm so excited to be sitting here today with Stonebwoy. How are you doing today?
I'm doing amazing. Nice to meet you in person.
Nice to meet you, and thank you for doing this interview.
Yeah, man, I've seen a few of your things.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Well, I have a lot I want to talk to you about, so it's going to be fun. The first thing I have to ask you, so Stonebwoy, I even just like the spelling of it, and I just needed to know, how did you come up with this name?
Stonebwoy. Livingstone is my first name. You know, you might as well hear people say Livingston.
I definitely thought that.
Yeah, it's the same. You can pronounce it that way, but I spell mine with an E at the end because that's what it really means to me. That's what I carry. That's the energy, the living stone. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then Stonebwoy obviously comes out from the stone and the living, and then the boy is all just because of the music, the vibes, the attitude, the inspiration, the stemming from definitely the Jamaican patois spelling of boy, which is boy. So that's a Stonebwoy. So when it's a Stonebwoy too, that's the same way anyway. But yeah.
I love that. I just like the boy too. I'm
boy,
like, am I saying it right?
Yeah, boy.
Okay. BWOY. So your music has been described as, the king of reggae and dancehall artists in Africa. How would you describe your music?
Yeah, I definitely accept that because I grew up, merging reggae, Afrobeats, and dancehall together in a box. I mean, I can simply put with reggae and dancehall, it's usually sang in patois, and dancehall is like, a derivative from reggae, and Afrobeat is, is African music put together, and all other styles that is African influenced also coming back together to be called Afrobeats today. Okay. So basically, when you pick a Stonebwoy typical song, you should be finding a blend of Afrobeats, reggae, and dancehall somewhat. But my style is very broad. It can't even be put in a box already because the name tells it all. Afrobeats, reggae, and dancehall. That's like three different worlds, of the three different planets in the same world, basically.
Well, I love the music. There's not one song you have where you don't want to just dance and be in a good mood. Exactly. So you collab with everyone from Sean Paul, Trey Songz, Carrie Hilson after a 10-year hiatus. Who are some of your dream collabs?
Let's just get it straight. Let's do some Rihanna. Exactly. That's one of my top dream collabs. And then there are amazing other voices that, may not be as huge as the Rihannas, vice versa, that I would love to work with because it's the music for me first and foremost, yeah.
I did want to ask also, because even watching all the music videos and reading the comments, it's just everybody talking about Stonebwoy's putting on for Ghana. And it's just so much love. So it's like, are there any other African musicians or artists that we should be paying attention to, or who are you putting?
Yeah, man, absolutely. Y'all should pay attention to Stonebwoy and Stonebwoy and Stonebwoy. Okay. And then there are other amazing, brothers and sisters on the continent who are doing super well, who have immense talent. I don't even know how to describe it. From Kenya to Zimbabwe, from Mauritius to Egypt to Tunisia. Bro, Africa is a continent. So you guys watch out for, the real deal. Because I was saying the other day that I think what the West is hearing of Afrobeats, which is a combination of all of the African styles put together, however, it's just probably like 30%, Yeah. And so you guys should look out for many, many more artists. Just get on there, use the Google searches, and find something out. Find out something beautiful. You could probably chance on something I don't know, coming from Africa. So
love that. So I want to talk about Nominate. So that was with Carrie Hilson, again, after a 10-year hiatus. So I love the video and the concept of it. So the video is about, the Miss World pageant, and it's showcasing different types of women. So I love that aspect of it. But the line, I want you to say it, because if I say it, I'm going to fuck it up.
No, but you're not going to fuck it up. You just can try.
No, but it sounds better when you say it.
I'll teach you.
So it's you, I go nominate my number one candidate. Can you say it?
If you are going to nominate my number one candidate.
See, way
this
better.
This love will carry heavy weight. Yeah. Don't keep me waiting.
This is why I needed you to do it.
It's you. I'm going to nominate you. Yep. You're my number one candidate. This love carries heavy weight. Don't keep me waiting. It's just in pidgin,
Okay, so my question is, what are the qualities you look for in a woman to be your number one candidate?
Amazing. Coming to the topic of women, they say beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder. So, from every spectrum of whoever sees it is actually like that. From a positive spectrum, not from a negative. I've not even thinking negative. My qualities in a woman will be, people say they're sapiosexual, innit? That means they have to get it from the mind. I actually also am very attracted to, and it's part of my qualities of a woman. To get nominated, you have to be, mentally, intellectually, not academically only, but you have to have a lot to add up to the, conversation, Yeah, I can describe it as being very woke and knowing something about everything.
Yes.
Not necessarily knowing everything about one thing, you know what I mean? And it stems from there for me. And then obviously, by the making of nature, you can see a woman when you see one. You know what I mean? So in that regard, when she has the woman spec, she has a beautiful face to go with. She has, which obviously lies in the eyes of the beholder. Yeah. She must have some shape. She must.
I like the some shape.
You know what I mean? She must be, so that I can get attracted. So there's like a yin yang kind of vibe.
Yep.
The energies can, yeah.
Okay, what are some red flags when it comes to a woman that would not be the number one candidate?
Red flags that will not be the number one candidate. So I'll start again from the top. Mentally, if, she has to be in the right place. If she's not in the right place, which actually cuts across into, all that I said. Everybody would want a man, typically like myself, I love peace. So when your contribution is not really peaceful, then I'm afraid I wouldn't need to bother you, by putting you at a position where you're going to be stressed. Which is the number one position.
Got it.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And now stemming it back to the physics too, I don't have anything against anything physical because we are all born of different forms, shapes, colors, etc. But that's what makes the beauty. So my red flag is not really anything physical, it's actually what I said.
Yeah. Anyone who's going to be stressful.
It starts from there.
So I did watch your Breakfast Club interview, and there was a part that I really liked that I felt you couldn't fully explain what you meant, but I was like, no, I want to know what he was talking about. So you were talking about how African men spend their money on women. You were asked about that, but you said something about it's in the culture where a man wants to provide, and there's a sense of control, but not in a bad way. And I loved that aspect of it. And
exactly.
So can you explain control not in a bad way? Because I think that's really important for people to know.
Control, I think I still went further to drop it in, but just because it didn't connect immediately, that was where some people are trying to find a disconnect. Not the disconnect. I believe they're interested to want to find more.
Yeah.
So what I really meant, the control is that, not in a bad way, like I said, we have abusive relationships. And I remember saying that different people do different things for different reasons. Some men would want to spend, impress, chase, provide, all in the name of one thing. Probably just to have their way with you. Maybe just have sex.
Yeah.
And you all know this is some reality. That's a different, vibes. I do not really subscribe to that because it could be simpler. It could be much more simpler, you know. Then that's where it goes on and on and on and on, because now there's that demand of it. Yeah. You know, there's that demand of, if it be sex, if it, whatever it be, because they are providing and they're giving. And also on the other hand, you know, if you know that there cannot be a reciprocal, you don't understand what the man wants really in terms of why they're providing, etc., then you know, I think in relationships, we should be able to draw the thin line. Yeah. And now generalizing it to how African men love to spend, that's what I mean. People spend for different reasons, but majority of the reason, 100%, is stemming from our upbringing, like I begin to say. A man must be the provider, must be the protector of the home. You know what I mean? And a woman must actually be the one to put it all together, you know, take care of the home in a sense that she is the mother. You know, she's a woman, the kids. So there's that family unit that, you know, all upon, we do family units so much so that we do extended family units. So I believe that traditionally there were no foster homes, because it still goes on. A grandparent will take on the duty, an auntie will take on the duty. In several instances, people can have kids, and when situation of taking care and breadwinning and etc. is difficult, a well-to-do person can ask to, you know, take it on. And you know what I mean? I hope I've touched base on the broader spectrum.
No, I love it.
Men provide, men protect, men give attention. You know, men are the shoulders to cry on in the end. That's how come African, that's how we grew, that's how we know. So in return, that's what I think brought the, you know, the debate. There must be submission. Yeah. You know what I mean? There must be respect. Mm-hmm. And there must be, you must put that provision to use.
Yeah. And I felt it was, even how you broke it down, it's not, like you said, it's not controlling a bad way. It's the man's providing something that would, it gives you reason to want to be submissive and be that woman. So I just, when you got cut off, I was like, no, wait, like I need to. So I had to ask about that. So
and I think the extended version on YouTube has, you know, if you heard it from radio or probably the video snippet on Instagram, then you're not going to probably get the full, you know, get on YouTube and find that it extends. So you might actually see.
Yeah. It was a great interview. So
thank you very much.
I was excited to talk to you about that. So are there what are some other qualities or other things about the African culture that people should know about? Because I'm so intrigued by even you saying there's no such as a foster home because it goes to the extended
I said
family.
there was. You know, now you find out that, you see, westernization is entering a lot of things and a lot of African cultural beliefs and standards. So it's breaking, you know, it's bringing some other things that were not normal before and etc. So that's why I said was. Yes. You know? Yeah.
Okay. So you have your New York show coming up in March, and then you said U.S. tour.
Hold on. You said something else about Africans that culture. People don't know, right?
Yeah.
I should have gone on to answer that after stemming on from, you know, I think if it's in relation to the man and the woman business, right?
Yeah.
It's in relation to that, right?
That or even the culture
or even
overall.
The cultural overall.
Let's do
yeah, primarily that's just, you know, about it. Like if it comes to being a man and a woman, we as African men know our role as the provider, the protector, you know, and then, you know, and the fact that there is the topic of multiple women situation is also like culturally and traditionally it was not really frowned upon. You know, I think it's the religious beliefs that, you know, are frowning upon it lately that is getting it into you know, it's making it sound more of an abomination. Yeah. And this is something I'm sharing about, you know, something like culture. Mm-hmm. The religious systems, especially the Christian system, is making it sound more of an abomination, which is really not, you know. I think is really, really not supposed to be looked at as an abomination, because several reasons would make room for several stuff. And yet Africans have always been known for, the multiple, spouses.
Yeah.
And in some other traditions in Africa, some women also do have the liberty, once as they qualify, because there are standards to actually also have
multiple spouses
if they're men. So these are some of the cultural stuff that I think I would, owing to man and woman stuff, I can also throw some light upon,
Yeah. No, so you said for the woman to have multiple, there's the standards of that. Is that what you were saying when you were breaking down?
Not only for the woman.
Okay. I thought it was just...
Thank you very much for... I actually said that in my mind, not only for the woman, because for the man, there's no... I don't know if any man who's in the right positions as the primary factor of provision, etc. If you can afford to provide for only one family at a time, you might not necessarily want to. So that would probably be the standards, like both ways. Whatever would make a woman want to do more, they must have a certain level of standard, moral standard, financial standards, whatever standards it be. So it works both ways.
Got it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for
It's not just one-sided,
Good to know. Well, that's thank you for sharing that. Because I was like, wait,
I'm grateful you asked.
I was like, wait, I have to ask about that.
Very grateful you did ask, because it would have left it somehow. It would have left it sounding like there are standards on the woman and there's no standard on the man.
There are standards for everybody. Yes.
Like, man. Stands for everybody.
Let's talk about, so you're going to be doing a show in New York, and you said the U.S. dates are loading for tour. So where are your favorite cities to perform in the U.S.?
Yeah. I don't want to sound biased right now, but I love New York, and definitely I've been coming to LA for a few times now, and I love LA too. So let's just say Atlanta as well. Houston, I did a festival last year in Memphis, and so right now I'm just open. Basically, the States could be my favorite place. Once the people are open to receiving, some Afrobeats and dancehall reggae vibes. You know what I mean? And it's nice. So on the 3rd, I'm gonna be in New York, Palladium, Times Square. It's like my headline. And I think the next day or that same week, we're going to be releasing the pre-order link to my new album.
Yes.
And it's just going to be beautiful and crazy in March, because my birthday is also on the 5th of March. So, I'm excited.
It's a busy week.
It's a busy month, basically. And it's going to be a busy year all put together.
Well, first, what are your tour essentials, or like your show essentials?
Break it down. Essential, as in...
like food, snacks, music, like certain pillows. Like, I don't know.
I mean, yes, I would love to have my African meals on the road any day, any time.
Okay.
Because I eat quite, simple but straight to the point. So get me some Ghanaian food and I'm there. African food, basically, and I'm there. Surely some music, and etc. You know what I mean? Clothes, Yeah, man. Clothes. I don't do too much in life. I'm just chilled. You know what I mean?
Clothes, I like that. So let's talk about the album. So that is coming in March, and it's going to be the first album with Def Jam, correct? So what can fans expect from this album?
Yo, fans out there, loved ones out there, you guys are up for a treat. This album is going to be the 5th one. It's going to be one of my best body of works yet. And this is going to, open a lot of people's eyes to Stonebwoy, the overlord, the one god from Ghana, Africa, basically. So look out for that. I promise I have worked my ass out to prepare some good meals on there, and you guys are going to love it. Some amazing features all across boards. So, yeah.
It's exciting. My last question for you. So I would love to talk about your philanthropy and the Livingstone Foundation. So let's talk about the mission for your foundation and what inspired you to want to start it.
Exactly. Like, I trust that we are all here for a purpose. Like, we're all here to, everything interconnects. my cry will surely be somebody else's cry, you know, and my laughter would be somebody else's laughter. So vice versa, if somebody's laughter, somebody's cry, I can feel it. You see, how much more I have been through, you know, some difficult moments, some very, very difficult moments in life. And fortunately, God saw me through, you know, people who would lend me a hand here and there were also there at the time. Many of them I can't be able to remember. Even that guy who probably saw me on the street and encouraged me as well has gotten me so far. Yeah. So guess what? I put together the foundation owing to the fact that I've been through some health situations and know how it feels. And it all stems from the simple things like while I was going through the education system, you know, education is expensive basically. So got to a point my parents couldn't afford and I've had to, you know, step out a few times to cater for myself, etc. So then I built the foundation to be able to support my student from my alma mater, the last year students who couldn't, you know, afford their fees because, I mean, final exams are vital to one's educational, you know. Yeah. So it started by paying off fees, you know, and paying off fees, both medical fees and then education stuff, and supporting people individually as well, skill training as well. And then now with the advocacy as well for the planet, you know, and climate change advocacy as well. So I've been big on all these things. That's why, you know, it gives me a lot of fulfillment to be very useful to society. And my story actually is a very unique story if you follow it up, you know, and that's why I live for the people. And I think I'm living my name, Livingstone.
Yes,
you know?
You are.
Yeah, man. And I'm really grateful for the support over the years, etc. You know, and I feel like that's how come I get the kind of love and the value that I hold in people's hearts. Like one of the moments that even took me off my feet was during the World Cup in Qatar. Mm-hmm. You know, I was built to headline one of the nights at the fan festival. You know, there was like 40 to 50,000 people live, you know, and I was supposed to go make, you know, play a show for them. And it was not even like a match day. It was off a match day, you know. So I was even probably not too skeptical, but I'm like, okay, how's it going to go? But the love that I received, why I'm even sharing this is that I have tons of songs. Some of the songs that these people gravitated to, and I saw some people in the crowd tearing up and etc., was these songs that encourage people and inspire people. So all through even through the music, I still represent for the people. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man.
If you had to choose one song of yours for someone who needs to be encouraged right now, which one would that be?
Oh, you could check out Feeling Lonely as You. Somebody will be there for you. When the world is coming at you, somebody will be there for you. And when you finally find an angel who is gonna take you through, to make you know one thing for sure, everything happens for a reason. So check it out. You know, tons of songs.
I'm gonna clap for that.
You know, and if I die today, I'm a hero. I'm a hero. Tons. Only if they knew that you are a seed, yeah, they will never dig you down. Lots of songs. Just get online and check it out.
Look out for that. Well, I really enjoyed talking to you, and I have a few gifts for you.
Wow, I'm grateful. Thank you so much.
The first one here, I'll open it for you. So this is this vest. Let me see.
Whoa.
Okay, here's this.
Whoa.
I have short arms.
Whoa, thank you so much.
So it's a vest from Tow and Carry.
Wow.
And then I have one more I'm going to give you that I think would be great for your tour.
Wow.
But you cannot show this on social media yet because it's not out.
Okay,
and I'll get
fine.
it.
Okay, fine.
This one's good to show me.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Do you like the colors?
I do.
It's 3M too, so it reflects also.
Wow. I'm grateful. Thank you so much. This is something I will rock.
Yes.
You know, because my style is, you know.
What I love about them is I just tell them, hey, here's who I'm interviewing, and they'll pick the bag specific to your style. Because if I picked it, I probably would have picked wrong.
Okay, but you know my style now, don't you?